Alright, so I'm gonna do another really cool review. I didn't bother taking the tape off because I just put the tape on to put it on a new stick that just got delivered. Unfortunately, I have a really bad story about that stick. Is that the fact that, you know, Sundays and Mondays are my days off. So the really sucky part about that is I was cleaning my backyard yesterday, no, last week on Monday, and then I saw this hand just kind of reach over and just, grab our Christmas wreath and move it over to the side, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I see a stick packaged up, and he just kind of throws it and just drops it, and I just kind of, I yelled some threats at the mailman, and I opened up the stick. I was really pissed off, and the stick was cracked. So unfortunately, this blade is going to have to be used on a different shaft. It's already been used. I always make sure that before I do a review, I do at least one or two uses before I get a full feel for it. And so what we're going to be doing here today is going to be the Harrow. Hopefully you can see it. The Harrow 300 edition blades. What this one is the pattern 10. If you don't know, the pattern 10 is the Ovechkin clone. So you get, the full Ovechkin feature, which is the, nice curve that starts around, I'd say, mid-toe, and then it just kind of turns into Dr. Hook. And then it's a very, very open face blade. It's nice and thick at the bottom, and then at the top it's ridiculously thin. It's a rounded toe. It almost kind of looks like the Spezza type of toe that he has, where he just kind of turns it into a spike, which is probably pretty dangerous, or it could be, I don't care. And then it's obviously going to be a rocker blade. You're going to be up here with the toe, and then you're going to be over here with the slapper. And but I just wanted to do the review because this is actually my first time I've ever tried Harrow blades. But I have had experience at Harrow blades because if you didn't know it, Harrow is actually Christian hockey. And you ever used a Christian hockey stick or saw a pro using a Christian hockey stick, Christian USA, that is the same thing that Harrow is. So Christian started coming out with their, composite sticks, and just, they're really good sticks. Their torch sticks are phenomenal. That would be the Harrow sticks. So here we go with the blade. This blade is actually really, really strong. The 300 wrap that they use on it is just really, really stiff. You can tell, you can see the blade, the sock of the fiber on there is just really, really strong. Even the hosel is just extremely stiff. I've never seen a hosel this long and this stiff. Even just trying to bend it with your hand, you can't do it. Even with my Warrior blades, the pro ones that I have, you can actually squeeze this a little bit. Not with this one. This is just, can't do it. Actually, that just dented my dinner table just trying to do that. As far as getting used to this blade, it's actually really, really easy for me because I use toe hooks. But if you were pretty new to this, you would have a very hard time just struggling with the rocker pattern to it. You're gonna have a pretty hard time as well. Yeah, it's sweet for toe drags, but if you can't use everything else, you're just not gonna do it well. The open face is obviously going to be a lot easier for you to be able to roof a lot of shots, but if you can't control it, you might actually end up roofing it into the actual roof or the top of the glass. As far as slap shots, this blade held up, phenomenally. I felt no vibration. It's just, stiff as can be. Just takes it, and then it just, goes to normal. No bending, no softness to it. This is the way hockey blades should be made. Unlike Easton and a couple of Bauer sticks, where it's just foam injected and it just feels like crap after a couple of shots. They just crack and die on you. Harrow uses different, these guys are going to be using different types of blade patterns. They're pretty cool. So these guys are going to have a lot of different blade patterns. You can actually send them your own blades as well, which is actually what I'm going to be doing, either them or base. I keep hearing a lot of really good things about base hockey, and I want to send them a couple of my personal blades that I use, like my Sandersons, which I'm down to my last two, and after that it's going to be it. And just have them, remake them for me, and this type of, this type of stiffness and blade, and I think that'll give me a long-lasting power as well. And as far as the durability on this. I took quite a few slap shots and I had no issue with it. I'm gonna probably do another follow-up video once I put it on a newer shaft, and you know, just let it rip and then try to see what happens with it. So we're gonna go from there. But as far as right now, this, you know, Harrow 300 blades are really good, really stiff. You can use them for practice. You can use them for beating up on someone or something, or a puck. I don't suggest using it to beat up on someone. That'll probably be assault charges. But you know, you can't go wrong if you use taper blades or standard blades. Check out Harrow blades. Check out their 300 lines. These are really good. All right. Okay, so I do want to give you a much better look on this blade, of course, because I don't want you to feel a little bit misinformed. So, of course, it is going to be the 300 series blade by Harrow. You know, it is a tapered blade, of course, so it's going to be for a tapered shaft. If you don't know what that is, you definitely do need to do a little bit of research if you've only used one-piece sticks. I definitely do suggest two-piece sticks. They're a lot more durable. If you break a blade, you don't have to throw the whole stick away or flip it and turn it into an awkward feeling shaft. So this is, of course, going to be the Ovechkin clone. The only other blade that this would be comparable to would be the Ovechkin Pro Stock blade that he himself has made for him, that he originally used to shape out for himself. This is a 5.5 Lie, but of course it is a rocker blade, so you know it is going to kind of toss it around. That's why it's a 5.5, because here's the 5, here's the 5.5. Of course, like I did say, it is a pretty stiff blade. It's got a 9-inch. You know, it's a 9-inch taper right here, so you know it's a short hosel. It's 9 inches, unlike standard, which would be 11, because it's going to give you a much lower kick than a standard blade. And right there, it is the pattern 10. I do want to make you aware, you know, of what you are going to be getting into, because this blade is going to be a little bit harder to get into than, you know, your normal Sakic or Forsberg or Drury, whichever one that you're switching over to. They do make quite a few different types of, you know, blades, of course. They have a really cool, really cool deal that they do for you. They're all about 40 bucks. Sometimes they actually do hook it up and give them to you for cheaper. Sometimes, you know, it just depends who you speak to. The core is a foam injected, absorbs and, you know, will just redistribute the shock, so it actually keeps it from going on. But this is not that foam core shit that you're going to see on Easton blades, which is going to be, you know, really soft that you can actually squeeze with your thumb. That is not what a hockey blade should feel like. I don't care who you are. A hockey blade should feel a little bit stiffer. Yeah, it should be a little bit softer so it can actually, you know, get some, you know, shock absorption, so it doesn't break so easily from being so rigid. But being able to squeeze it with your thumb like I'm trying and it's failing, that should definitely never, ever happen. So, are these heavy? No, they're about 150 grams, probably less, probably about 150 grams just with the tape on its own. You know, so they are going to be a lot more better. This is a 3-chamber construction, from what I've been told, and so you know it's going to be pretty stiff on certain parts, and it's going to be, you know, a lot more rigid than others, especially up here, you know, where I said that it's extremely thin. Look how thin that is. That is almost paper thin. So you know it's kind of like a 3-piece blade built together, and then they put the, you know, the sock over it. That's just kind of, you know, the woven carbon sleeve, so it's kind of like a sock they slip on, and then they throw it in the heater, you know, in the oven to kind of bake it, and then just, you know, eliminate any type of air holes that would be in it that would just automatically break the stick. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go on YouTube. I'm assuming that you're already on YouTube, so just open up a different YouTube page and look up how it's made. Hockey sticks. It'll actually give you a really good recollection of how, not recollection, really good information of how they are made. You know, it's fantastic technology that's only going to get better and better and better and better and better and better and better. So, Harrow 300. Have at it.